evening and welcome to WPN. My name is Krish Matangri and today, as part of our Panorama Investigate Sleep series, we will be investigating the idea of sleeping yourself slimmer. According to statistics, 13 million people in the UK are on a permanent diet. That is, they are dieting all of the time. From the Atkins diet to the watercress diet. But does weight loss really have to be this difficult? Or are we oblivious to the simple factors that can make a huge difference? A new wave of research is investigating the effects of sleep on diet, and the results are fascinating. WPN caught up with sleep expert Dr. Alec Legowski to shed some more light on this issue.
Many argue over the definition of good sleep, using evidence from Margaret Thatcher's infamous sleeping pattern to the trusty rule of 9 hours for a healthy body. The scientist Thomas Edison even went as far as to describe sleeping as a waste of time. Have we really been made by evolution to spend almost a third of our lives unconscious just because it's nice to relax? In answer to the disparate views on the mystery of sleep, research psychologists have found that for adults, sleeping an average of 7 to 8 hours a night is most beneficial. With minimal disturbances, 7 to 8 hours will prove restorative on motor and cognitive function, helping you stay sharp, physically able, and even happier. In a study of sleep quality, Keckland and Ackerstedt found that frequent awakenings during the night will likely result in fatigue upon rising. So, extended periods in bed do not necessarily equate to a decent night's worth. Too much sleep has been shown to affect mortality, especially in the elderly. Too little, and long-term effects on health can be even worse. So, the majority of us believe in the importance of a lengthy sleep for health and longevity. But what about sleep deprivation?
We put it to members of the public to gauge the awareness between sleep and weight loss. Do you personally feel like you get enough sleep on average?
I think I do. I get about 6-7 hours a night.
Probably about 6 hours.
Maybe like 7, 8 hours.
Probably about 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, about 5 hours.
How do you feel if you haven't gotten enough sleep?
Grouchy, yeah, and tired, difficulty in focusing. You'd basically be drunk when you haven't had any alcohol. Yeah.
Might go have a nap now.
Now we've heard a little bit about what the public thinks about sleep deprivation. Let's head over to Dr. Lawton in the Science Lab to hear more about the link between sleep and diet.
So how does lack of sleep affect our eating habits? There are 2 ways that sleeping less leads to increased caloric intake. First, you have more opportunity to eat as a result of being awake for longer. And second, you experience increased hunger. Increased hunger is caused by changes in your appetite hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Leptin, produced by fat tissue, suppresses your appetite, and ghrelin, secreted by the stomach wall, triggers feelings of hunger. Short sleep duration is associated with lower levels of leptin and higher levels of ghrelin, which as a result makes you feel more hungry.
Over the past few years, there has been a growing interest among researchers in the relationship between sleep duration and weight loss. In this study, 10 overweight adults were placed on a 14-day moderate calorie restricting diet. Researchers compared the amount and nature of weight loss between those who had an 8.5-hour sleep opportunity and those who had 5.5-hour sleep opportunity. They found that sleep restriction decreased the amount of weight lost as fat by 55% and increased the loss of fat-free body mass by 60%. Further research involving larger cohorts has found similar results. One study assessing 123 overweight adults over a 15 to 24-week caloric restriction period found that in addition to sleeping for longer, better sleep quality increased the amount of body fat lost. Similar results were obtained by Thompson and colleagues, who found that better sleep quality and sleeping for more than 7 hours per night can increase the likelihood of successful weight loss by 33%. These studies suggest that a lack of sufficient sleep may reduce the effectiveness of dietary interventions.
Fantastic, well that's a lot of information to absorb. We'd like to thank all of our sleep experts for joining us today. We're now very fortunate to have Dr. Louise Lee in the studio today. So Louise, how can we all afford ourselves a better night of sleep?
Well, there's a few simple things that everybody can do. For example, going to sleep and waking up at the same time every day, not eating foods that will give you too much energy before bed, practicing good sleep hygiene, don't be exposed to bright lights, those kinds of things. But if you want to take it a step further, perhaps cut out alcohol and cigarettes and just do a little bit more exercise.
That's brilliant. Well, I'm sure we've all benefited from learning how to maintain a good night's sleep. I'd like to thank all of you viewers for tuning in, and we'll see you later.